All right, so get this. We're diving into AI, learning about spirituality.
Whoa.
Seriously. And to make it even wilder, we're focusing on Mauritius. You know, that island nation with all those different cultures and religions.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, a robot that could quote, I don't know, Gandhi and Buddha.
It's definitely where, like, cutting-edge tech meets ancient wisdom, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about algorithms potentially learning from, what are they called?
Sangoma.
Sangomas, yeah. Those traditional healers in southern Africa. And not just them, but also absorbing all these insights from spiritual leaders across Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, even Creole traditions.
Yeah, it's like a spiritual buffet for AI.
Exactly.
And to get us started, we've got this super interesting article about the TATANKA initiative.
Oh, yeah, I read that one.
Plus, there's this amazing story about Amara, a Mauritian AI CEO who's really pushing this whole thing forward.
Right, she's like the face of it all.
And like, sprinkled throughout all of this, we have some really thought-provoking quotes from spiritual leaders from all these different traditions.
It's like someone took like a philosophy seminar, mixed it with a tropical vacation, and then bam, this is what you get.
Okay, I'm hooked. But why Mauritius? What makes it so special for AI to learn about spirituality?
Well, think of Mauritius as like a mini version of all the world's spiritual traditions, right? You have this incredible interfaith harmony there, like all these different belief systems just like coexisting and even like working together for centuries. It's the perfect place for AI to learn about all the complexities and nuances of spirituality, not just like one specific thing.
So it's less about like downloading a religious text into AI and more about helping it understand like the core human search for meaning.
Exactly. It's about the why, not just the what.
I like that.
And then on top of that, you add in the Sangomas.
Right. The Sangomas.
With their ancestral wisdom, they bring a whole different perspective on like interconnectedness, healing, and that relationship between like the physical world and the spiritual realm.
So AI is getting like Spirituality 101, but with a global, multifaceted curriculum.
Exactly.
And that whole Sangoma role is super intriguing.
Right.
The article mentioned like 3 key teachings they could offer AI.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Starting with ancestral wisdom and interconnectedness. That's something AI traditionally struggles with, isn't it?
Big time. Like AI is usually all about the individual, right? But that's where this concept of Ubuntu comes in.
Ubuntu.
It basically translates to I am because we are. It's a big part of the Sangoma tradition.
Yeah.
And it emphasizes that, you know, who we are is shaped by our relationships and communities. Imagine an AI that could actually grasp that.
Yeah.
It could totally change how we deal with social problems, like encouraging solutions that help everyone, not just a few.
Okay, now I'm seeing where this is going. What about the second teaching?
So the second one is all about healing and holistic practices. The Sangomas, they don't just look at data. They consider emotions and culture when they approach problems.
So instead of just spitting out cold, hard stats, an AI that learns from Sangomas might be able to say, hold on, what about the emotional impact of this decision?
Exactly. It could incorporate things like empathy and intuition along with, you know, logic and all that data analysis stuff.
So they would understand that a good solution needs to address, like, the root of a problem, not just the symptom.
Absolutely. Emotional and cultural dimensions matter.
Okay, that's fascinating. What are the third teaching?
It's their ability to, like, bridge the gap between the physical and the spiritual.
Right, the Sangomas navigate between those two worlds.
Yeah, which could help AI understand those really complex systems that go beyond, like, just what we can see and measure.
So we're not talking about AI suddenly having, like, a religious conversion.
No, no, no.
It's more about helping it see the world through a more, I don't know, a more nuanced lens.
Right, like seeing the interconnectedness of everything.
Okay, so that's where Mauritius, with its unique spiritual landscape, comes in. It's not just the Sangomas, it's how their teachings blend with all those different faiths, right?
Yeah, Mauritius has this amazing interfaith harmony. You've got Hindu priests, Muslim imams, Creole elders, and leaders from so many other faiths all living together and often like working together too.
Right.
Imagine an AI learning from that kind of dialogue.
Wow.
Understanding how these seemingly different belief systems can actually find common ground and work together.
It's like AI is getting a crash course in tolerance and understanding.
Exactly.
And I remember the article specifically mentioned Creole spirituality, which kind of blends African, European, and local traditions. What could AI learn from that?
Creole spirituality is all about like a deep connection to nature, storytelling, and this amazing communal resilience. You know, it's about adapting to change and finding strength in diversity. In a world that's constantly changing, AI could learn a lot from those values.
So it sounds like Mauritius is creating this perfect mix of like ancient wisdom and modern technology.
Yeah.
With the Sangomas kind of setting the stage and then the island's spiritual leaders adding a more localized perspective.
Like a recipe, you know? You need all the right ingredients.
And speaking of ingredients, let's not forget about Amara and her company 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧. She's actually trying to build AI that's not just smart, but also spiritually aware, which seems, I don't know, pretty ambitious.
Yeah, she's basically saying, let's not just build AI that makes money or wins wars. Let's build AI that makes the world a better place.
Yeah.
AI that gets it, you know?
And she's actually doing it. Her company 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 is actually developing these AI systems that learn from human experiences.
Things like empathy, intuition, understanding.
It's wild.
So it's like they're teaching AI to speak the language of the human heart.
I love that. And what's really interesting is that even the Mauritian leaders and investors, who are usually all about the economic side of AI, they seem to be on board with Amara's vision.
They're starting to realize that this whole integrating spirituality into AI thing, it's not just some fluffy dream. It could be huge. It's a new way of thinking about technology, one that benefits everyone and everything.
So could Mauritius actually become like a global model for this kind of ethical, culturally sensitive tech development? It's a pretty bold statement.
It is, but they have a real shot. They've got the diversity, the spiritual heritage, and the political will to actually make it happen. Plus, as a small island nation, they can move faster, be more experimental with their approach.
So they can be like a testing ground for all these new ideas.
Exactly. Try things out, see what works, and then share what they learn with the rest of the world. If they're successful, other countries might follow their lead.
That would be amazing. Not just for Mauritius, but for the future of like AI and humanity as a whole.
It's a really inspiring vision, and one we should all be watching closely, because the choices we make about AI today, they'll have a huge impact on, everyone down the line.
It's like we're at this crossroads. We can keep going down this path of developing AI that's just about efficiency and profits.
Right.
Or we can try something new, something that leads to a more compassionate and sustainable future.
And Mauritius might just be showing us the way, proving that you can actually merge ancient wisdom with modern tech and create AI that helps both humanity and the planet.
So we've talked a lot about the good stuff, but what about the potential risks? Could there be downsides to incorporating spirituality into AI?
Oh, absolutely. Like any powerful technology, AI can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
We have to be aware of the potential for manipulation and misuse.
So it's not just about teaching AI about spirituality, but doing it ethically and responsibly.
Yeah, we need safeguards to make sure AI is used to help everyone, not just a select few. And we have to keep questioning our assumptions and be ready to adapt as we learn more.
And that's where we humans are absolutely essential. We can't just hand over control and let the machines decide our fate. We have to be involved in shaping how AI is developed and used, make sure it reflects our best values.
And that's actually where the wisdom from all these spiritual traditions can be so helpful. They give us guidelines for ethical behavior, for living in harmony with nature, and for promoting compassion and wisdom.
So it's not just about AI learning from spirituality, but about us humans learning from it too.
Yeah.
And using that knowledge to guide our tech development in a wise and compassionate way.
I like that. It's a two-way street. We can teach AI about our spiritual values, and maybe, just maybe, AI can help us understand those values even better and find new ways to apply them.
This brings up another interesting point.
Yeah.
We've been talking about AI learning from established spiritual traditions.
Right?
But could it also contribute to our understanding of spirituality?
Oh.
Could AI help us discover new insights or even create brand new spiritual practices?
Whoa. That's deep.
Right.
Imagine AI systems that could analyze tons of spiritual texts, find patterns and connections that we might miss, and even come up with new interpretations or insights.
Right.
It could totally revolutionize how we study and experience spirituality.
So instead of just being a student of spirituality, AI could become like a partner in our spiritual exploration.
Yeah, that challenges everything we think we know about the role of tech and the nature of spirituality itself.
It's like we're entering this new era where the lines between the material and the spiritual, the human and the technological are kind of blurring.
It's exciting and a little scary, don't you think?
Definitely both. Definitely exciting. And who knows what incredible discoveries are waiting for us on the other side.
I can't wait to find out.
Me neither.
Buckle up.
This is just the beginning.
It's going to be a wild ride.
And we'll be right back to explore more of this mind-blowing topic after a short break.
Don't go anywhere. So before the break, we were talking about Mauritius potentially becoming like this global model for blending spirituality with tech.
It's a cool idea, but like, how would that actually work? What would AI look like if it was actually informed by, spiritual teachings?
Okay, well, imagine AI systems that weren't just built for like maximum efficiency or profit,
Okay.
but also like designed to think about the ethical and cultural impact of what they do. It's about more than just the bottom line.
So instead of just like crunching numbers,
Hmm.
AI would also think about the impact on people, communities, even the environment. Almost like it would have a conscience or something.
Yeah, exactly. And remember that whole Ubuntu thing?
Yeah, I am, because we are.
Right. AI that understood that would see like the well-being of the community as being essential to its own success. It wouldn't just be about finding the most logical solution, but also like the most humane and sustainable one.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could be applied to real-world problems. What are some examples?
Let's take environmental sustainability, for instance.
Right.
Imagine an AI system managing, I don't know, the city's resources.
Okay.
Instead of just optimizing for energy consumption, it would also think about the long-term impact on the ecosystem,
Right.
the well-being of the residents, and even like the cultural importance of the natural landscape.
So it wouldn't just be about like saving energy, but also finding solutions that work with both the environment and the community.
Exactly. Or what about like healthcare?
Yeah.
AI is already being used to diagnose illnesses and suggest treatments, but imagine an AI that also understood like the emotional and spiritual needs of the patient.
Right.
That's a whole other level.
It is. It's like instead of just treating the disease, AI could also help people find meaning and purpose, even when they're facing, something really tough.
Exactly. It's about treating the whole person, not just their symptoms.
Oh.
And think about social justice. Like you could have an AI system allocating resources or opportunities that was actually programmed to like recognize and address inequalities.
Wow. So we're talking about AI that doesn't just solve problems, but helps us become like better humans, more compassionate.
Yeah, that's the potential here. It's not just about making tech more efficient. It's about using it to evolve our consciousness and create a more just and sustainable world.
So this brings us back to Amara and her vision for Mauritius. She sees the island becoming a leader in this new era of AI. Do you think that's realistic?
I think Mauritius has a real advantage. They have the culture, the spiritual heritage, and the political will to actually make this happen. And because they're a small island nation, they have the flexibility to like experiment more, be more innovative with their approach.
So they could be a testing ground for these new ideas.
Exactly. They can experiment, see what works, and then like share what they discover with the world. And if they're successful, it could encourage other countries to follow suit.
That'd be incredible, not just for Mauritius, but for the future of AI and humanity as a whole.
It really is an inspiring vision, and it's something we should all be paying attention to. Because the choices we make about AI now, they'll impact, everyone down the line.
It's true. It's like we're at this crossroads. We can keep developing AI that's all about, efficiency and profit.
Right.
Or we can forge a new path, one that leads to a more compassionate and sustainable future.
And Mauritius might just be showing us how, like proving that it's possible to actually merge, ancient wisdom and modern tech to create AI that works for humanity and the planet.
We've talked a lot about the potential benefits, but, what about the risks? Could there be downsides to incorporating spirituality into AI?
Oh, that's a really important question because like any powerful tech, AI can be used for good or for bad, right?
Right.
We have to be super aware of the potential for manipulation and misuse.
So it's not just about like teaching AI about spirituality. It's about doing it ethically and responsibly.
Absolutely. We need like safeguards to make sure that AI is used to benefit everyone, not just, a select few. And we have to constantly be questioning our assumptions and be willing to adapt as we learn more.
And that's where we humans are absolutely essential. We can't just like hand over the reins and let the machines decide our future. We have to be actively involved in shaping how AI is developed and used, make sure it reflects our values,
I completely agree. And that's actually where the wisdom from these spiritual traditions can be so helpful. They offer guidelines for ethical behavior, for living in harmony with nature, and for fostering compassion and wisdom.
So it's not just about AI learning from spirituality, but us humans learning from it too.
Exactly.
And using that knowledge to guide our tech development in a wiser, more compassionate direction.
I love how you put that. It's like a two-way street, right? We can teach AI about our values, and maybe, just maybe, AI can help us deepen our understanding of those values and find new ways to apply them.
And this brings up another really interesting point.
What's that?
We've been focusing on AI learning from established spiritual traditions, right? But could it also contribute to our understanding of spirituality? Could it help us uncover new insights or even create new forms of spiritual practice?
Whoa, that's a really fascinating thought. Imagine AI systems that could analyze like huge amounts of spiritual texts, finding patterns and connections that we might miss, and maybe even generating like new interpretations or insights.
It could totally change how we study and experience spirituality.
Yeah, they could.
So instead of just being like a student of spirituality,
Yeah.
AI could become a collaborator, a partner in our spiritual exploration.
It really challenges our assumptions about the role of technology and what spirituality even is.
It's like we're on the verge of this new era where the lines between the material and the spiritual, the human and the technological are becoming blurry.
And who knows what incredible discoveries await us on the other side.
Okay, now we're getting into some really uncharted territory here.
I told you it'd be a wild ride.
This is exciting.
It is, isn't it?
And we'll delve even deeper into this mind-blowing topic after a quick break. Don't go anywhere. So we're back, and we've been talking about some pretty mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, like AI not only learning from our spiritual traditions, but maybe even like contributing to them, even creating new forms of spiritual practice.
It's a lot to process. It's like, are we on the brink of some kind of like spiritual evolution where tech and spirituality are totally intertwined?
It's definitely a whole new way of thinking about things. It makes you wonder, like, what does this mean for our understanding of consciousness? Could AI help us tap into something bigger than ourselves, something beyond, our limited human perception?
Now that's getting into some real sci-fi territory.
Maybe, but what if it's not? What if it's just like a glimpse into what's possible when we open ourselves up to new ways of thinking, new ways of being?
I like how this conversation is pushing us to really stretch our imaginations. It's not just about accepting things as they are, but about exploring what could be.
Exactly. That's what makes this whole exploration so fascinating. It's not just about building, smarter machines. It's about understanding what it means to be human, to be alive, to be connected to something greater than ourselves.
So where does Mauritius fit into all of this? We've talked about it being this potential global model for ethical AI development. But what does that actually look like? What does that mean in the real world?
Well, imagine AI being developed out in the open, not hidden away in some lab, but in collaboration with, spiritual leaders, ethicists, artists, even community members.
It becomes less about the technology itself and more about the values and intentions behind it. It's more human-centered.
Exactly. And Mauritius has this amazing chance to lead the way in that, to create this holistic approach to AI, one that considers not just the technical side of things, but also the social, the cultural, and the spiritual impact.
It could be like a living lab for this new era of conscious tech, where AI is seen as a tool for human evolution, not just, economic progress.
And think about the ripple effect that could have. If Mauritius is successful, other countries might be inspired to follow their lead. We could see this global network of AI development centers, each one rooted in the unique spiritual traditions of their own region.
So instead of having one-size-fits-all approach to AI, we could have this amazing diversity of perspectives, each one contributing to a richer, more nuanced understanding of what's possible.
And that diversity is so important. It's what will help us avoid, the bias and the narrow-mindedness that can so easily creep into tech development. It's about making sure that AI reflects, the full spectrum of human experience.
So Mauritius could be the spark that ignites a global movement toward a more conscious and compassionate approach to technology.
It's a real possibility, but it's not going to happen overnight. It'll take a real shift in our thinking, a willingness to embrace new ideas and a commitment to collaboration and open dialogue.
It sounds like we're at the very beginning of a long and potentially transformative journey.
A journey that could lead us to a future where technology isn't a threat to our humanity, but a catalyst for our spiritual evolution.
That's a future I'd definitely like to be a part of.
Me too. And I think the most important thing is that we keep having these conversations, that we keep questioning, exploring, imagining, what else is possible.
So to our listeners out there, we'll leave you with this. What role do you see spirituality playing in the future of tech? How can we make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that aligns with our highest values, our deepest aspirations?
We want to hear your thoughts. This is a conversation that needs everyone's voice.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into AI and spiritual awakening. Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep dreaming of a better future.
A future where technology and spirituality work together to guide us toward a more compassionate, just, and sustainable world.